Righto. Upcoming sequel to the 2009 classic Avatar. Avatar: The Way of Water. Not sure what I think of that title. It's a very interesting, just sort of the way of water. Like, well, that's a bit vague. They're going into water, okay, but I don't know. It's not bad, but it just seems a bit meh. That's the only way I can describe it. It just seems very meh as far as titles are concerned. I want Avatar 2 Judgment Day or something. He's already done that movie though, James Cameron. But I've seen the trailer, same as with the previous one I did, Indiana Jones 5. I've watched this trailer before, but I've only watched it once, and so I thought I'm going to watch it again because I've got there's some things I've been thinking about since then, based upon like what I've heard about this going on with the story and everything. And I just I thought I'll watch it again and I'm going to unleash my thoughts on it. So let's sit back and watch the trailer and then get into it.
Think I'm crazy.
Never mind those big rocks.
But I feel her. I hear her heartbeat. She's so close.
So what does her heartbeat sound like?
Mighty.
We cannot let you bring your war here.
Outcast. That's all they see.
I see you.
The way of water connects all things. Before your birth and after your death.
This is our home!
I need you with me. And I need you to be strong. Strongheart.
Okay. Yeah, definitely sort of a bunch of the things I've been thinking of since watching the trailer. Story points and things. Just things about that are being introduced in this movie that like, why weren't they in the first movie, for example? There's a lot of that kind of going on in my head. Like, the big thing, for example, being where are they? Somewhere along here, you've got...
Heartbeat sound.
Where are they? These people?
Here.
So, you've got the water people of the Na'vi. Okay, first of all, why do they have Maori face tattoos or Pacific Islander facial tattoos? I get that, yeah, Cliff Curtis is playing this, I think, this character here. Like, yeah, cool, I like Cliff Curtis as an actor. But why does he have Pacific Island facial tattoos? Because it's not like this is a mythology that isn't in the real universe and they're just supplanting Earth cultures onto different space cultures, like in, say, Star Wars, where, yeah, Earth doesn't exist and they're supplanting different, you know, Earth characteristics of different Earth cultures onto different, you know, space people. Like, oh, that planet's got a bit of that going on, and that planet, those people have a bit of this stuff going on. No, Earth exists, which thus means that like Maori people and like Pacific Islanders, Samoans, and all that sort of stuff exists. Hawaiians. So what is this? Why do they have those sorts of tattoos? What's going on there? Like, I don't get like how that's meant to work within. It doesn't. You know what I mean? It just seems strange. So that just seems a bit like sort of, I don't know, a bit kind of, yeah, like they're trying to, I don't know, it just seems a bit strange given it doesn't make sense. They're just trying to force that in there. But beyond that, there's also the fact that, okay, these are the water people, so can they breathe underwater, or do they just live on islands out in the water, you know, out in the sea? And also, what were they doing in the first movie when the whole sort of planet was at risk of the humans coming after the unobtainium resource? That's why they were there. And like, you know, all the Na'vi gathered together at that tree of life, and then they like have their big sort of battle for like the fate of the planet, and all the animals even join in to help. A big alien horse stampede, all the big alien rhinos and all that shit. And like, where were these people? What were they doing? What was going on there? You know, it doesn't quite like, oh, we're just suddenly making this up now. And like, no, James Cameron had this already. Did he? Because what happened with these people? Why weren't they involved? So they just weren't involved. They were just hiding away and just weren't involved, were they? Like, yeah, right, okay, you know, whatever. But it just, if that was the case, that impacts upon them in a certain way and makes me think of them in a certain way, like they're just off hiding or whatever. But there's also the fact that, so even back here, where is it? Where's that bit where they're like underwater with the whale, having a little moment with the whale? You're like here? So like, are they just holding their breath for a long time? They must be. Like, I think that's Jake, the main character, like, because he's like, they must be holding their breath, because I don't know, like, I thought they're like, oh, they could breathe underwater, maybe the water people, but I think they just live out in islands on the planet. Because the thing, but they're underwater for big stretches of time as well. So they just must be able to hold their breath for long periods of time. Because there's also the fact that the land Na'vi, well, can they do that? Because they're not living out in the sea, so why would they have gills or whatever the fuck? You know, but they don't seem, you know, is it like the water people can breathe underwater, or the land Na'vi can't, or they can all just hold their breath for long periods of time? Because then you also get this bit, the reason that makes me doubt that is because you get this bit here, wherever it is. Where is it? Here, they're running from the water. So even if they're not like, it's like, okay, these two people can't breathe, because why would they be running from the water if that's not something to fear? You would just go, oh, okay, well, the ship's going down, this ship, because they're in some sort of human ship or structure of some sort, and it's being flooded. Why would they be running from it? Wouldn't you think they'd just go, oh, well, we'll just go into the water and we'll go out the way where the water's coming in? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't, so I don't get what's going on with water and how these people can navigate it. That seems a bit confusing to me. And I'm sort of, questions are coming out, you know, in my head in that way from that stuff. And then there's also the fact that one big thing. So Jake, the human character of the first movie, who is going into an avatar, which it was an avatar in the first movie because he's a human in a human body, and he's like remote accessing through technology this avatar, which is of a Na'vi body. And then at the end of the movie, he gets put, like his consciousness gets transferred with the tree, or whatever it is, the alien sort of neural network that's in all the plant life and everything, gets transferred from his human body into his avatar body. So he wakes up, the last shot of the movie is his eyes opening up, and his consciousness is now actually transferred to his avatar body. So he is a Na'vi now. So, but the thing is, humans made that body. So, where did they get that from? It's part him and it's part like Na'vi or whatever. But where did they get that? You know, they created it. I understand that. Like, say that I don't know where they didn't get. I don't know. I do know where they got it from. They made it like through science. But where did they get that Na'vi DNA from? That to make it, because it's part him, it's part his DNA, which was his twin brother from the first movie. That's why they got him to do it, because his twin brother died, and he was the only person that would fit that because of his genetics to be able to work with it. Plot, story point. And so the Na'vi DNA that was in that body, where did that come from? Who did that come from? Because the thing is, he gets with this chick here, Neytiri, which is played by Zoe Saldana. And then in this movie, I don't know if they've already got a kid together or not, but look, she's pregnant. So, if you can see down there, actually you can't even see it because of me. I'm in the fucking way. Look over there, look at that. She's got a big old belly, she's pregnant. So, how did he knock her up? So his avatar body has come. He's got like artificially made alien cum. Like that. How insane is that? So they can create. You know what I mean? Cum. They can create new types of cum. So is he, when he's impregnating people, is he impregnating people with like? Is the cum come from him, his human side of his genetics? Like, is he cumming his brother's cum? Half his brother's cum and half some other aliens cum? Or is that like, how does that work? You know what I'm saying? Like, these are weird questions to come up, because they're logistical things though within this universe that they've created, and it's insane. But somehow his artificially made, sort of Na'vi body with sort of some human DNA in it is able to impregnate Na'vi people. So his artificially made cum is knocking up Na'vi. That's just insane. Yeah, just absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. So, yeah, it's just like, because there's this kid here as well, wherever we just saw that just there. Where do we see that? Yeah, there's this kid that, like, I don't know if that's him. That seems like a slightly different haircut, so I don't know if that's him later on or at some point, but that seems like a slightly different haircut. But this is a child Na'vi, so, and then this is like, I think this is Sigourney Weaver or whatever, like somehow she's back. So I don't know if the person that she's playing like a teenager. This is her here, the Sigourney Weaver character. I don't know if this is meant to be the human character that she was in the first movie, that they tried to transfer her consciousness over and it didn't seem to work. I don't know, but not to the body at least that they were trying to get it to do. So I don't know if this is like somehow her consciousness is like sprung out as a new life or whatever. Like, I think that's maybe what they're trying to do. So there's some weird stuff going on in this film, and it's this sort of fake cum included. But it's definitely a very visually interesting film. But Return to Pandora, yeah, they're returning all right, with a lot of questions, and I want answers. Bit of an Apocalypse Now kind of style shot there of the Na'vi. See, so it's like, is he able to just breathe for a long time underwater, or what's going on there? I don't know. Can they breathe underwater? Oh, the humans are burning more things. Well, they got the tree of life or whatever destroyed in the first one, so now do they have the place that they're living in now destroyed again? And so now they're on the run, and they have to team up with it, go retreat to the water people's place, and the water people are like, oh, we don't want to be a part of your thing. It's like, well, you weren't the first time. You never seem to want to. You want to act like you're all strong warrior people, and you just hide off in your little place. There's another like young Na'vi person, so it's got like lots of young Na'vi people. Like, oh, this is Lion King 2, where it's the different tribes. Simba's daughter and the other Lion tribe that wasn't in the first movie, but they're there now, and somehow they have their leader, even though Simba was meant to be the leader of all the people, and like his dad was. So just questions definitely coming about. There's like, aren't humans underwater? Like for some reason the humans are interested. There must be like that unobtainium resource underwater, like they're finding it down there, and they think we'll go get it in that direction, because for some reason there's a lot of like the humans are interested in going underwater for them. They wouldn't be there just to kill them. They'd definitely be there for some sort of financial reason. Like there's something motivating them going there. Resource manipulation or land obtainment. You know what I mean? So Maybe they're trying to make the climate more like the Earth or something. I don't know, but yeah, it's definitely a lot of questions coming out, and you know, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see this. It's a long time since the original. It's like was that 13 years now? It comes out this month, December 2022, and it's just interesting now. And then like next year or the year after, there's going to be Avatar 3, and then the year after that or the year after that one, there's going to be Avatar 4. So all of a sudden, within the space of a few years, we're going to go from one Avatar movie for a good stretch of time. Suddenly, there's going to be like a whole trilogy, quadrilogy of them. And it's just like, is this a story that we really needed to see? Because even though the first one doesn't completely, seal off all the potential of there ever being any reason for a sequel, it sort of felt like it was the end. It was, okay, cool, the humans were defeated and they bugger off back to where they came from, and the Na'vi are at peace on the planet and whatever, at least as far as the ones that we've seen. And Jake's now a Na'vi, and so he can be with the people and the people, like meaning the Na'vi. And so that's that, it's like the ending of Starship Troopers, where it's not that the bugs are completely defeated, but you sort of know that they are going to be defeated, and that the humans are sort of on that turning tide of defeating them. And you could just leave it at that with that first movie, and it feels like a little bit like this, where you could have just left it at that, but now we've opened the can of worms again. We've opened Pandora's box, and so here we are, just trying to make money. That's all it is, Not that the first movie wasn't about money, but he obviously had a story he wanted to tell, and a thing, like a universe, a world he had come up with, and a story idea that he wanted to tell, and boom, he painted a big, pretty picture and told the story he wanted to tell. And now here we are, just sort of, stretching it out again, going, no, but there's actually more going on. Really, is there? Well, okay, maybe it's worthwhile, maybe it's not, but there's a lot of questions coming up, and it just seems to be making things stranger, like I say, with the complexities of human Na'vi artificially made body versus organically made Na'vi body interaction. It's some very strange stuff. And then just all the logistical realities of how do they breathe underwater? Can they breathe underwater forever? Is it what's going on there? So we'll see.